do a Tsum Tsum phone case, and it's inspired by this phone case and this comment. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and let's go ahead and start. So first you're going to need a clear phone case or just a phone case, and then you're going to need to print out a picture of Minnie and Mickey. I got a Minnie and then a Mickey. I stacked them on top of each other and then made sure that when I printed them out, they were the size of the phone case. I'm going to be working with polymer clay. I think you can also work with some air dry clay. So I think you know what, almost would be better if you use something other than polymer clay, because it turned out a little heavy when I finished it. So maybe, I don't know if you can make it with some air dry clay like the Magic Model clay, because I don't know, it takes forever to dry. I realized later that it takes forever to dry, but right now I'm making the eyes and the nose, and then for Minnie I made some eyelashes. Now that I have their faces, I will do Minnie's bow, and I grabbed some red polymer clay. I stacked it on top of the bow, and I made an indent on the side and in the middle, and then I added the little button in the middle. And now that I have these 3 pieces, I'm gonna bake it for 15 minutes so that I don't mess it up. If you're using air dry clay, you can let it dry for a couple hours depending on what you're using, so it can harden up a little bit and you can press it on top of the head, and makes it a little bit easier to blend everything together. Then I added the ears. I cut off any of the extra that got in the way of Minnie's face. And then I repeated the same steps on top for Minnie. Except of course that you go ahead and add the bow after. So now that I have these 2 heads, I added the bow. And I'm gonna bake it with the whole piece of paper and everything together. And it's not gonna burn, so don't worry about it, the sheet of paper burning. So after it's fully baked, I let it cool down, and I realized that it had broke apart, which is a bummer. But while it was still hot, since the polymer clay stays a little bit soft, I cut out the camera holes, and I persevered and added some glue and kind of attached it together like a puzzle. So if it breaks, it's okay, you can fix it. It's gonna be okay. And then to make it shiny, I used some polyurethane gloss. As a little note, I realized that there's air bubbles in their faces, which makes them look a little bumpy. I'm not sure what I did wrong with the polymer clay. Air bubbles were trapped in there, and I tried it twice and the air bubbles kept on coming out. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you guys have a good one. Bye.